Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
వినిపిస్తుంది.
Teacher.
Okay. When we are applying these Z test, yesterday we said, regarding the parameters, regarding the measures, how we are going to take without the generalized information with the application of the Z tools with the formula we can when we are the numerical data about that particular table we can apply with the Z test tools. It will the data will come automatically within the textual format. Of course, sir, normally we can apply, why we are applying the Z-test tools means when we are doing the complicated table explanation, when we are doing complicated graphics tables, we can say that, with the application of the Z-test, it will come, easily we can we can easily, write it down, or we can easily explain the data about the particular table. Just like, in a t-test also it will applicable to independent means, and another one is, correlated. What is the independent means, what is the correlated means? So independent means, how much of independently these particular institutions percentage, which subject are spending these particular money, or we can say that correlation between these particular subject. I'll tell you one thing, because you take one example of one particular institution, or you take up Ambedkar Open University. Last since 7 years, seven courses, how much of the money spent for the purchase of the books or purchase of the journal? Other than that, every year they are spending 1.2, 2.3, 2.5, just like that. Other than that, journalism department is spending more than 1 lakh rupees for every year. They will ask that, is there any institution is spending more than 1.1 lakh means some another institutions like, sociology department. That means journalism department and the sociology department is spending more than 1 lakh rupees. That means, correlation between these journalism and sociology department. When comparing with the independent means, each subject, or we can say that each course, how much of the money is spending for that. But generalized, we can't explain with the application of the tools. We can say that, but independently, each subject, how much of the money spending, how much of the people, utilization, and all those things from the last 7 years, we can say that, last 7 courses, we can explain it with the application of the t-test. In that, that's what that I don't know, like, analysis of variance, analysis of covariance, and analysis of variance of multivariate, and that means MANOVA, multivariate analysis of the variance. Just like that, various styles of the variance between the here we can say that subject because with the example of the subject. But generally, what we will tell you is label, or we can say that, variables of that particular table or that particular graphs. Isn't it with the application of the t-test, we can uh, get the result, or we can say that, write the result of those particular about the table. Now today we are going to discuss about the presentations, uh, and what it is, yeah, presentations and interpretation of the research result. Sir, yesterday you said, after research analysis, processing, and preparation of the data. And what is the presentation, sir? Is it necessary for the research? Means, yes, obviously, because, your work a lot for hard work for the a lot for the research. After getting the analysis, data collection, and you're applying various tools and all those things. After data processing and data preparation, these research, it is a complex actually. These complex data, how you are going to provide the easy to understandable manner to the user. User in the sense a common man, or user in the sense who really required that particular data. అంటే ఏంటిది, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ మీరు రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే ఎన్నో ఇబ్బందులు ఎదురవుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఆ డాటా అనేది కొంచెం కాంప్లెక్స్ గా వస్తూ ఉంది. కాంప్లెక్స్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ కొంచెం సిస్టమ్ అంటే కొంచెం జర అంటే అర్థం కాని లాంగ్వేజ్ లో వస్తుంది. బట్ అర్థం కాని లాంగ్వేజ్ లో వచ్చినటువంటి డాటాని హౌ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ది అండర్స్టాండబుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్, ఏ కామన్ మెన్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఆర్ యూజర్ ఓరియంటెడ్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ లాంగ్వేజ్, హౌ యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ప్రజెంట్. Usually when we are going to present the data, today's and then the teaching style earlier, blackboard method. Now many of the people are digital classrooms, digital boards, and there are virtual presentations. There are many various IT appliances are applying for the tools are applying for the teaching. In the same way, how the research how you are going to present your research data, or how you are going to present your research final result. So that's what we are going to know, that which method or which technique or which tool we are going to provide. Means yesterday just we spoke, not yesterday, yesterday or day before yesterday, or from since the last three classes, why I'm telling is, see, what is the use and importance of the tables and graphs, Amma? చెప్పండి, what is the importance? What is the importance of the tools and tables and graphs? ఎవరైనా చెప్పండి. ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్స్ గ్రాఫ్స్ ఎందుకు వేస్తాం రీసెర్చ్ లో? జేఎస్టి, పౌనిక, ఎవరైనా చెప్పండి. మనం రీసెర్చ్ లో కానీ, ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో కానీ, ఆర్ అదర్వైజ్ డిజర్టేషన్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్ యూ టేక్, వై వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ tables and graphs?
To know the result.
To know the result. With the textual form also we can know kada. With the textual form also we can know why we are using tables, why we are using graphs.
We can compare the results.
We can compare the result in the textual form also.
We want to understand easily using the graphs. The result will be understanding very easily.
Good. Then
To know the percentage.
Percentage means, we can know by the even textual form also.
Usually,
by saving the time and our
Of course, this is also one benefit. Somebody said just now, sir, comparison or analysis, easy analysis of study purpose, we are using tables. Just I think in your book, just you check it out, 189, page number 189. Do you have your books?
Yes, sir.
దాంట్లో మీరు 112.2 అమ్మా, దాంట్లో 12.20 12.2.1 లో టెక్స్టువల్ ప్రజెంటేషన్, దాంట్లో జస్ట్ యూ చెక్ ఇట్ అవుట్, సెమీ టాబులర్ అండ్ టేకింగ్ అని చెప్పేసి, he gives the information about the generalized information at each single year, near how much of the houses were damaged and perished and everything. They are giving in the year of a cyclone, how many houses damaged and all those things he mentioned in the textual form, without graph, without table form. So what is the intention? Why we are using tables? Why we are using graphs? Somebody said that it will easy to understandable, and somebody said another one is the time saving. Then tell me.
analysis.
ఇప్పుడు మనం when we read it, 12.2.51 2.1, it is analyzed, and it's a textual form which is analyzed from the table form. Table data only we analyze in the textual form.
What we are having theoretical complex data, we can show
Hmm.
in graphs and tables by using that. The accurate performance what we done in experiment, we can get it in
That's
simple
what,
manner.
yeah, yes, that's what easily understandable,
Yeah.
easily understandable. And another one is easily attract the data. They don't have time to read the above textual data. So people, we can attract the that particular table or that particular graph, that particular pie chart will easily attract the user, and the common man can easily attract, can easily understandable. Compare with the textual, compare with the table and pie charts. Textual is more a little bit complex than tables and pie charts, isn't it? That's why the researcher is preferable tables and pie charts in the farm, in the area of research, isn't it? Of course, yeah. When we compare with the presentation, textual presentations and graph presentations. Graph presentations, what type of graph presentations, what type of textual presentations? The textual presentation, we can say that it's a informal presentation of the data. There is no specific rules and regulations for that in a textual presentation. What about the data which is given in the table? The same thing which we are presenting the data. But thing is, when we are presenting the textual data, I said already many times, the data it should be readable to the common man. The words when we are using in the research, the words when we are using in the project, common man also can understandable, because you know the library and information science rules and regulations and words and some formulas, some abbreviations and all those things. But common people, it's not like that, no. So when you are going to research for common people, what is the purpose using of the common people means research is for all, not only for the one particular profession, isn't it? Research is for the society, research is for the nation, research is for the global. Which you, if you are really doing the quality of the research will be, by the research, many of the people benefited. Today, what we are enjoying, everything what in the IT or in many areas and in many things, what we are enjoying, which is invented by the many of the people by the research, by the various form of the research. You take example of the mobile, you take example of the TV, you take example of the aeroplane, you take example of the bicycle, you take example of the buses or whatever it may be, which is invented, which is discovered by the research only, that is for the society, for the nation, for the global, isn't it? That's what, when we are presentation of our textual data, it should be in a readable manner and a visible manner, and we can say that common people can understandable language. They given how the presentation, textual presentation, how we supposed to do means they mentioned in the, just I spoke to you 12.2.1, they said in the year of 1977 cyclone was occurred in the various places. How many houses damaged, how many losses and I think how many lives means sheep, birds, and millions of the crops, how we lost, and all those things they mentioned with the in the textual format. But when we compare with the graph, it will give us how many houses they will give one label. Lives means birds, crafts, or otherwise sheep, otherwise how poultry, birds, goats, they'll give one bar for each one, everything, how many last. That means textual is a little bit confused, because I know common people can understandable language, low royal and researcher, they supposed to and how to know the knowledge skills and communication skills. Common people can understandable language skills also is required for the researcher, isn't it? And some important findings in the rural area అని చెప్పేసి ఆ కింద టేబుల్లో కూడా ఇచ్చాడు చూడండి. ఎస్టిమేటెడ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రూరల్ హౌస్ హోల్డ్స్ and percentage of agricultural labor households, percentage of rural labor households. That means, with the percentage how many people, how we are going to write, that is very important. And another one is tables. Tables means, um, just we spoke to you regarding the tables. What is the purpose of tables? Means we said that, for the attraction, or attractable, easily understandable, to saving the user's time, and you know common people can easily, visible and readable manner. So that's why, tables is one of the important factor in the research, isn't it? In the organization or a classification of the data into the table, two forms. One is on a rows, we can say that, horizontal arrangements, and another one is columns, vertical arrangements. Uh, the same thing when we are compared with the text, textual format, textual data. The same thing when we are entering into the table also. When we are entering into the table with the numerical and textual data, the data also easily understandable. టెక్స్టువల్ ఒక్క దాంట్లోనే కామన్ పీపుల్ అండర్స్టాండబుల్ కాదు. ఈవెన్ టెక్స్టువల్ కూడా మనం ఎంటర్ చేసేటప్పుడు డాటా కానీ, న్యూమరికల్ డాటా కానీ, కామన్ పీపుల్ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్. దెన్ ఓన్లీ దే విల్ నో, ఓకే, దిస్ వర్క్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ డన్ సో అండ్ సో పర్సన్, దిస్ వర్క్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ డన్ సో అండ్ సో, దిస్ వర్క్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ innovated by these people. Because that, understandable thing, understandable language, you have to write it. That we can then generalize the language, we can say that, and these tables are two types. One is a general purpose and reference purpose. Another is special purpose. Sir, usually tables అన్ని ఒక్కటే ఉంటాయి కదా. What is the difference between general purpose, reference purpose, and special purpose? Depends on your making of your questionnaire or making of your requirements, the tables which we are preparing on that. Suppose I said, last or before last, we can say that, um, uh, seven, the comparison study where seven engineering colleges are good remaining compared with the other colleges. Isn't that is our problem? What is our question is, what is the allocation of the budget for these journals, or what is the allocation for the budget for the library? When what we have to do is, left side what we are going to write, left side serial number, and we can say that, column area, what we have to write is number of colleges, or we can say that name of the college. CVR college, so and so college, so and so college, so and so college. At the same time, beside college, what we are writing here, year, 2001, 2002, 2020. Again, down what we are writing here, budget allocation for the books, or budget allocation for the library. So 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, just like this is the formula what we have to write. Again, sir, when we are using the library, what about the specification is required, sir? Only you said that, regarding the library. What about the books? How much they are spending? Journals, how much they are spending? Internet, how much they are spending? Our maintenance, how much they are spending? What we have to do is, again, subheading we supposed to put, or we can say that, um, uh, library divided into three or four parts. Library books one part, journal one part, or we can say that binding one part, or we can say that, maintenance one part. Then 20 lakhs of rupees are spending for the library. You divided for these four columns. Sometimes, journals we are spending more. Sometimes we are spending books more. And the internet, all those, this is a minor money. So each and every year we can divide like in these tables. Sometimes, the table, we have to give proper table numbers and proper table headings, and it is the table heading also is too lengthy. We have to cut it down. easily understandable manner. And also we have to give some subheadings for the table also. And caption is nothing but what we'll call what we'll call what we said um, the table heading, we can say that. What is the caption? Budget allocation is the caption. Subheading we can add it, budget allocation for the library. Subheading we can say that allocation for the books, allocation for the journals, allocation for the we can say that maintenance. Again, you have to divide and subdivide into the subheading. What you have to do is books, each and every subject, how you are going to spend it out of the 20 lakhs, out of the 20 lakhs budget for the library. Books they are giving 4 lakhs. Again, these 4 lakhs, again, how much of the budget you are giving for the 7 subject. Again, you have to these 4 lakhs divided into the 7. Just like that, the table will show the exactly how the data is going to analysis. Without analysis of the reading, without interpretation of the data, we can easily identify by the table. Adding in the table, we can check. We can adding the data. We have no idea. We have to know the idea about that particular thing. Even how many subheadings, how many captions you have to add it, and total and grand total will be this same, because no confusion when we entering into the table format, when we entering into the data, there is no confusion. Because of course, when we are entering into the data, we have an idea, the researcher have an idea, what is the label, what is the percentage, and what is the subheadings, what is the caption, and what is the steps, and the body, what we have to write. And sometimes sources also we supposed to take, because when we are entering into the data, I said budget allocation for these particular in library. Sir, where you took this particular information with? I took this particular information from the primary sources. What is the primary sources, what is the secondary sources, already we spoke to you. Or otherwise in your research is the primary sources, that one is we are taking from the our questionnaire, or we are taking from the our primary objective, or we are taking from our primary hypothesis. So based on that, the above table we prepared. That's what source is, where you are taking this particular data. And another one is footnote. The footnote is nothing but the no, the above table, what it is content. Just we have to give one sentence or two sentence. It will, we have to give brief information of that particular data. And what two, or we can say that sometimes the table will be 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, or 4-dimensional, or also it will be there. And sometimes we have to put into the column headings and subheadings and units, and all those things we have to make consideration for the preparing the table, or preparing the structurable table. We can say that scientific table, for which is understandable, easily understandable. It is not a complexable table we supposed to prepare for the research presentation of the data. Another one is graphic presentation. What is the graphic presentations? Graph అంటే ఏంటిది అసలు?
Information giving in graph.
Other graph information we are presenting, or information we are showing, or we can say that information giving. చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు మీరు జస్ట్ యూ సైడ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ గివింగ్ అన్నారు. నేను ఏమన్నాను? ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ప్రజెంటేషన్, ఆర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ showing, or we can say that information presentation. Just like we have to use various words, refined language, which is belongs to the library information science language.
Yes, sir. Yes.
చెప్పండి, ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి. గ్రాఫ్ what is the mean, what graph it contains? ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి గ్రాఫ్ లా? మనము చిన్నప్పుడు
Bar
గ్రాఫ్
charts.
వేయలేదా తల్లి?
Sir,
బార్
x-axis,
చార్ట్స్.
y-axis.
Bar charts.
ఓకే, బార్ చార్ట్స్, ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్, వై యాక్సిస్, దెన్
Pie charts.
ఇంకా
Line graph.
పై అంటే ఏంటిది?
Round. Round.
గుడ్. ఇంకా
Histograms, sir.
yeah, good. Yeah, these all are contained, graphic presentations, isn't it? When we are now that when we are data, the mode of presentation, various geographical, or we can say geometrical, or we can say that various devices how we are going to present. One is table, another one is graph. The graphical data may contain the information about the line graphs, bar graphs, you said the pie charts, and we can say that pictorial presentations, or we can say that quantitative data, or we can add it into the data in these particular graphical format. See, you take up the pie charts. The pie charts, when we are divided into the one particular pie, divided by the percentage, or we divided by the values, or divided by the number of labels. Based on that, we can divide it. The same thing, the tables also we can add it. It depends on the number of labels, number of variables, number of pie charts. We can say that labels and variables and the numerical the labels and variables, it implications of numerical data, implications of percentage, isn't it? అంటే ఏంటిదనంటే ఒక లేబుల్ ఆర్ ఒక వేరియబుల్ ఎట్లా అనంటే, సపోజ్ యూ టేక్ 7 ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ గురించి వెన్ వీఆర్ డిస్కసింగ్ ద 7 బార్ చార్ట్, ఇట్ విల్ షోస్ దట్ 7 bars we have to show, isn't it? That we can say that label. Variables means we can divide it that particular amount. Dantlo one bar diagram lo we can we can divide into the books kenta how much we are spending, or journals how much of the money we are spending, or maintenance how much of we are spending. That means one bar diagram we can divide into the 3 parts. That 3 parts we have to give identification for the 3 parts. Books ki manam horizontal lines కొట్టండి, లేదా జర్నల్స్ కి వర్టికల్ లైన్ కొట్టండి, లేకపోతే మెయింటెనెన్స్ కి ఆ బార్ చార్ట్ లోనే 3 parts, థర్డ్ పార్ట్ కి కొంచెం క్రాస్ ట్రయాంగిల్ లో కొట్టండి. దట్ మీన్స్ ఈచ్ బార్ చార్ట్ ఇట్ షోస్ దట్ 3 parts of the that particular it will reflect that this particular institutions is maintaining 3 areas of budget. One is it shows that books, another one is shows that journals, another one is maintenance. Just like that, it's a when we are bar diagrams, or we can say that pie diagrams or tables, it's obviously visual impact will be there on user. I said already, regarding easily understandable, as it easily we can say that attract, and we can say that it will take the less time to read, less time to understandable. So based on that, graphical presentation is one of the more and more dominating phenomena in the any area, either a teaching, either a research, either a project, or classes, or whatever it may be. This is one of the dominant phenomena present situation, isn't it? That bar diagram, already they mentioned in a commercial statistics, already you are observing. Yesterday somebody said that for stock market is showing the graphs is up and downs, just like on the ECG you can observe it, what is the how the graphic is going on ups and downs. The same thing which when we are in the our relatives, or many times we are observing in the many hospitals, it shows the beep mission ups and downs. It's a graphical presentation, it will shows that Ups means what is the percentage, low means what is the percentage, what it is reflects in the x-axis, and what is the reflects in the y-axis. The what it contains the x-axis, what it is contain the y-axis. These between the common point, what it is, how much of the percentage, how much of the numerical data, how much of the percentage, what it is our problem. That we can easily understandable. Here they mentioned, bar charts, the procurement of the books and the journals over the year, how they mentioned and all those things. You can check it out in 12.2.4, isn't it? చూస్తున్నారా ఒకసారి
Yes,
మీరు?
sir. Yes, sir.
1980లో బుక్స్ ఎన్ని కొన్నారు, 1981లో జర్నల్స్ ఎన్ని కొన్నారు. బుక్స్ కు దే విల్ గివ్ సమ్ ట్రయాంగిల్ క్రాస్ బార్డర్, దే విల్ గివ్ సమ్ బార్డర్, అండ్ జర్నల్స్ కి దే విల్ గివ్ సమ్ అనదర్ సింబాలిక్. ద సేమ్ థింగ్, యూనో, when we are going to use these type of things, what we have to do is, um, uh, you know, one particular institutions, they are divided into the books and journals in divided. When comparing with the um, uh, every year books and journals, with the two comparing 2 years, they mentioned in the second chart, isn't it? ఫస్ట్ చార్ట్ నేమో 1980లో బుక్స్ అన్ని కొన్నారు, 1981లో జర్నల్స్ కొన్నారు అని చెప్పేసి చార్ట్ ఇచ్చాడు. సెకండ్ చార్ట్, దట్ మీన్స్ ఫిగర్ 2లో 1980లో బుక్స్ జర్నల్స్ ఎన్ని కొన్నారు, 1990లో బుక్స్ జర్నల్స్ ఎన్ని కొన్నారు అని చెప్పేసి కంపారిజన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చారు. జస్ట్ యూ కెన్ చెక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. బుక్స్ కి ఏమి ఇచ్చాడు, జర్నల్స్ కి ఏమి ఇచ్చాడు, అది ద సేమ్ థింగ్. బట్ వెన్ వి కంపేరింగ్ విత్ ది only two variables here we are showing. When it comes to the 4 5 variables, how we are going to do the same table, so the same bar diagram, either vertical or either horizontal, what we have to do, divided into the 4 parts. How many variables are there, we can divide into the 4 or 5 parts, and each parts we have to give identification purpose, various columns or various numbers or various you know, identification marks in that particular diagram. Isn't it? What is the use? Why? Which purpose we are using for the that, horizontal lines, vertical lines, cross border, or rounds, or whatever? Why we are giving? For the easily identification of that particular bar diagram is containing how many parts. Each part is containing what is the actual, either it is books, either it is journal, either it is maintenance, either it is binding, either it is an infrastructure, either it is internet, either it is what we'll call fines or finance, whatever it may be. That means whatever the table in the bar diagram, how many parts you divided, that each and every part you supposed to mention right side, that each part is containing what it is, whether it is books, whether it is library staff, whether it is institutional staff, whether it is journal staff, that you have to mention. Then only we can understand. ఏందో నువ్వు డబ్బాలు కొట్టి వదిలిపెడితే వాట్ ఇట్ ఇస్ డబ్బాలు, నువ్వు ఫుల్ లైన్లు కొట్టి పెడితే వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఫుల్ లైన్, హాఫ్ లైన్ కొట్టి పెడితే వాట్ ఇస్ ద హాఫ్ లైన్. You have to give any specific color for that. You have to give any specific identification for that. Usually we are mentioning specific colors and how, vertical lines, border lines, cross lines. We are mentioning. That means what it shows, that easily understandable for the common man. And come to the component bar chart. The same thing what we said, that each and every bar are containing how many parts and all those things. Pie charts. What is the meaning of pie charts? I said, just we spoke to you regarding when we are taking the consideration into the bar diagram, how many journals, how many books, just like how many parts we are spending, means we said the 3 or 4 parts. That means each and every that particular bar divided into the 4 parts. The same thing we are divided into this pie into the 4 parts or 3 parts. But each part, what is the percentage means, or what is the numerical value means, that particular area we have to mention the percentage or numerical values. The same thing what we did in a bar diagram. The same thing we have to add for the identification. We have to give apply for the red color or black color or blue color or various colors. We have to apply for these particular each and every divide. We can easily understand. Okay, red is equivalent to red is it shows the books, yellow is shows the journals, and something we have to show the color will show the different books. Where we can identify beside the table, we have to mention, or within the table also, within the bar diagram also, sorry, within the pie diagram also we have to mention. But color, or you're giving any identification, or you're giving only numerical data, or you're giving only percentage and all those things, it will show that for the identification of the data easily understandable for the those who are reading the research, those who are and doing the research. The researcher can have to know minimum how you have to, of course, see the researcher when he is doing the research. Many problems may occur, many complexities may happen. But thing is, మీరు ఎంత కష్టపడ్డా కానీ ఎంత మంచి వర్క్ వచ్చినా కానీ మీ ప్రజెంటేషన్ మీద ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. సి యు టేక్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఐల్ టెల్ యూ వన్ థింగ్. వెన్ వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ ది మూవీ, అంత మూవీ అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ఈస్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు డూ ది editing, isn't it? Editing means is nothing but the where real stuff is required. No stuff it is not really required for that particular 2.5 hours. They will cut it down. What it will shows that means the presentation. The movie is nothing but presentation. Who are the presenter? Final, director. He'll give lots of data. He'll put lot of efforts for the making the picture. The final thing is editor have to edit the data, which area is really required, which is the area is audience will understand, audience will hugely receive the data. He can he can put or otherwise useless data he will edit in his edit room. The same thing afterwards he have to put into that particular final area. The data usually if audience will receive, that means the same thing, the presentation is important. Finally, the presentation is important. The researcher also have to do presentation. Be cautious. It is responsible to user has to understand, and common people can understand. Even library science people can understand. Commerce people can understand. Mathematics people can understand. That type of language we supposed to write in the your research report, research presentations. ఇప్పుడు మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ టీచింగ్ లో కానీ ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నాను అని అంటే, మీకు పవర్ పాయింట్ ప్రజెంటేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు నోబడి విల్ గివ్ ది టెక్స్టువల్ డాటా. ఇంత కట్టలు రాసి ఎవరు ఒక పారాగ్రాఫ్ 2 పారాగ్రాఫ్లు రాసి దాంట్లో పెట్టేసి మొత్తం చెప్పరు. అంటే పుస్తకం ఎట్లా ఉందో అట్లా మొత్తం రాసి కాపీ చేసి పెట్టరు. జస్ట్ బ్రీఫ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్, ఒక పారాగ్రాఫ్ తీసుకొని ఒక ½ అవర్ ఆర్ 1 అవర్ he will explain on that. Or they will take the one bullet points. He will take some bullet points or 1 or 2, 3 points he will take, and based on that particular one point he will give the 10 to 15 minutes for the each and every point. Or he will give the one table, each table what it is contain, labels what it is contain, variable what it is contain, what numerical data, each and every label what is the percentage, and graph what it is percentage, pie charts what it is percentage. That means he will that PPT will give the just and a brief 1 or 2 things. But when the teacher, when the researcher, when the presenter will present in own way with those particular source, ఆ సోర్స్ ఆధారంగా చేసుకొని he may present hours together, or uh, that research how it could happen అనేది తను చెప్పగలుగుతారు. సో దట్స్ వాట్ పవర్ పాయింట్ ప్రజెంటేషన్ that we said one of the prominent area. Now we are presenting in digital boards and all those things. The same thing I said. You know, ఎవరికైనా స్వయం ఐడియా ఉందండి? స్వయం పోర్టల్ ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా? స్వయం పోర్టల్ ఐడియా ఉందా? ఐడియా ఉంటే ఐడియా ఉందని చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే లేదని చెప్పండి. ఏముంది
Yes,
దాంట్లో?
sir.
Sir, but no idea.
ఎస్ బట్ నో ఐడియా. నాకు అర్థం కాల.
I heard, sir.
About time we are listen, but just name only we are know that. About of that
Actually,
briefly
sir,
in
good afternoon. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Swayam portal is a free course, sir, which will be available for the general people.
చెప్పండి.
Swayam portal is a free course, sir, from top universities, which find free courses for all the people, those who are need, like researchers.
సరే, ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు నేను క్లాస్ అయిపోయాక ఇది నాకు ఒకసారి గుర్తు చేయండి, నేను చెప్తాను మీకు. యా, కమ్ టు ది హిస్టోగ్రామ్. What histogram? This is also another type of depicting the data through the geometrical figure. That means, um, uh, what it is, the uh, uh, you know just we said that bar diagrams, it shows the horizontal or vertical diagrams, how we are prepared the data, how we are identifying the same thing. Pie charts, how the data we are preparing, how the data we are identifying with the columns. Just like that, histogram also is the one of the another source of geographical source. This diagram, uh, you know uh, source of uh, just we said that last bar diagram, it shows that each and every label, each and every area we are considered for the one particular bar. The same thing here also we are uh, we supposed to give. But when we are in the histogram is a what we'll call some consecutive rectangle for each and other histogram. అంటే ఇట్లా ఇక్కడ చెప్పాలని అంటే మీకు ఈక్వల్ నౌ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ yeah, the table which what we taken into the bar diagram, the same thing we are taking. But thing is, when we are taking to the labels, when we are taking into the variables, the tables and variables all are equal. But thing is, when the number of things are, we can say that um, how much of these particular institutions are spending more, which institutions are spending less, which institution are commonly spending this much of the money for that. How we can say that with the histogram will show. I'll tell you one thing. I said regarding 7 institutions, 7 courses, how much of the money we are spending yesterday or today we are discussing. But usually when we are doing the things with the bar diagram, each and every diagram and each and every bar we can divide into the various parts, and one bar will be all bar will be taken to the not equal consideration, because some institution is providing 4 lakhs rupees, means 4 lakh rupees divided into the various parts. Just like the here histogram is depends on the money, how much of the money we are spending, that particular bar will be high, that particular bar will be low, because depends on the money, how much of the money. And that means which institution is providing huge money, it will reach number one. And second one is what it is. The third one is what it is. The fourth one is what it is. This means the variance between the top to level or bottom to top. It will show. But thing is, each and every institution identification, it will give the right of the table, because each and every, we can't divide up each and every bar. Each bar is giving only one particular subject. I'll tell you, because earlier what we used, one bar diagram divided into the four parts. Here it is not like that. Library, we are taking into the library. Library, earlier what we used, one bar we divide into the four or five parts. Here not like that. Library is the total part. And now books we have one bar. Another one is journal is another bar, and maintenance is one another bar. And what we have to do is binding for another bar. That means we are giving to equal preference to the all institutions, but each institutions containing not a part and parcel of the bar, but each and every part having a own bar. That means each and every bar, it will shows the identification for the right side of the table, what books it shows, what journals it shows, what మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఇట్ షోస్, వాట్ బైండింగ్ ఇట్ షోస్. అంటే ఏం లేదండి, ఇంతకు ముందు చేసినటువంటి బార్ డయాగ్రామ్ లో వాట్ విడిడి, ఒక డయాగ్రామ్ లో ఒక్కొక్క బార్ లోనే మనము లైబ్రరీకి సంబంధించినటువంటి 4 పార్ట్స్ డివైడ్ చేసి, ఈచ్ పార్ట్ బుక్స్ అయితే మనం వర్టికల్ అని, లేకపోతే హారిజాంటల్ అని, జర్నల్స్ అంటే ఇట్లని చేసి చూపించినాం. బట్ ఇట్లా కాకుండా ఒక లైబ్రరీని యూనిట్ గా తీసుకొని తీసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ 4 పార్ట్స్ ను 4 బార్స్ గా చేసినాం మనం. బుక్స్ కి ఒక బార్ పెట్టినాము, జర్నల్ కి ఒక బార్ పెట్టినాము, అంటే దట్ మీన్స్ లేబుల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసినాము, మెయింటెనెన్స్ కి ఒక బార్ క్రియేట్ చేసినాము. అంటే వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మీన్స్ all are equal, but thing is all institution, all areas are equal, but each and every area, how many labels, each and every variables, what is the identification, what is the which purpose they are using for the identification, whether they are using for the books or journals or లేకపోతే ఇంకేంటి. And another one is they will easily shows that colors also sometimes we are going to apply for that. And here given is some figure 5, size of the library, they said 1000 to 1500 number of libraries. It will shows that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It will shows that 5 labels here giving the histogram, and it will shows that size of the library 10,000, 1000 to 1500, 1001 to 2000, 2001 to 3000, 3001 to, that means 8001 is the first it is supposed to put, isn't it? The second one is uh, uh, 5001 to 8001. But here the size of the collection, here number of libraries, which how many number of libraries is having more size of the library means 36 libraries. Here they are having 3001 to 5000. That means this it will shows the highest rate of the size of the library is having 3001. That means 36 లైబ్రరీలు 3000 నుంచి 5000 కలెక్షన్ వరకు ఉన్నాయి. అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ ద ఫస్ట్ ప్రియారిటీ, ఇట్ విల్ గోస్. సెకండ్ ప్రియారిటీ గోస్ టు 5001 to 8000. Third priority goes to 2001 to, just like that, priority wise, each and every label, each and every variable, it will shows the what purpose, what it is contained. And the graphs, we can say that graphs, what it is contained. Graphs అంటే ఏముంటుందండి, మనము చెప్పండి. Just I spoke to you regarding ECGs and stock market, or we can say that BP mission, or it will shows that up and downs, what it is.
Frequency, capacity.
Yeah, frequency and capacity, what it is means, just you said x-axis, y-axis, what it contain labels or variables in x-axis, what it is contained in y variables, what is the frequency is high, what is the frequency is low. That you have to capture and you have to write down in the table down. In the graph, it will show the uh, 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 the data. It will depicts data. It will depicts up above graph. So these type of presentations will help out in the research area by the textual format, how we are going to write, and the graph format, how we are going to write, and pie format, that we can say that table or pie charts or graphs or tabular form, we can how we are going to write and how we are going to present the data for the easy identification, for the easy attractable, easy understandable, and easy to save the time of the reader, and all are we have to consider for this presentation of the data. And interpretation, what is interpretation, uh, what purpose interpretation is required when we are going to present a data. Interpretation means when we are interpreting the data it may not be unbiased. Unbiased data you supposed to write. And when we are taking into the data, unambiguous, ambiguous గా ఉండకూడదు. The data, it should be a simple manner. It's not a complexability. Interpretation of the researcher, when we are going to interpret, suppose I'll tell you one thing. Telangana, since the in the state of Telangana, we don't have a post since 30 years, but many libraries are day by day losing their efforts to providing to the users. ఇది యాక్చువల్గా మనకు వచ్చినటువంటి డాటా మనం ప్రజెంట్ చేసినాం. దీని ద్వారానే విత్ టేబుల్ ఫార్మాట్, వీ కెన్ సే దట్ గ్రాఫ్, లేకపోతే ఇంకోటో ఒకవేళ మనము పై చార్ట్ ద్వారా 70%, నాట్ 70, 80% of the staff day by day is retiring. Only 20% of the staff are running nearly 564 libraries in Telangana. If data was the data was we found. What we have to write is తెలంగాణలో 80% రిటైర్ అవుతున్నారు, 20% రిటైర్ తోటే గ్రంథాలయాలు మొత్తం నడుస్తున్నాయి. కాబట్టి వీఆర్ నాట్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ద సర్వీసెస్. గవర్నమెంట్ కంపల్సరీ చేయాలి, చేయకపోతే లైబ్రరీలు మొత్తం మూతపడతాయని ఇది డాటా మనం రాయాలి. ఎట్లా రాస్తాం మనము? కట్టే కొట్టే తెచ్చే అన్నట్టు గవర్నమెంట్కి అనుకూలంగా రాస్తామా, వ్యతిరేకంగా రాస్తామా, లేకపోతే సేమ్ డాటా ఉంది కాబట్టి అదే రాస్తామా? ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ చేయాలి. ఏం ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ చేయాలనంటే, since 35 years or 40 years, the government is not recruiting the librarian post in the government public libraries. So based on that, the government institutions is not able to provide quality of services to the users. Nowadays, public libraries or public community centers are one of the prominent area, prominent sector to providing the quality of education in the rural areas as well as in urban areas, in the statement which is given by the National Education Policy. The government of India, all state government as supposed to allocate the proper funds for the recruitment of the librarians, and to develop the public libraries in all the states అని మనం రాసినాం అనుకోండి. ఇట్లా ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ చేయగలగాలి మనం. వాడు ఏదో ఇస్తాడు, ఏంటంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ఇస్తలేదని రాస్తామా? అట్లా కాదు, మీరు ఇస్తే మంచిగా ఉంటుంది. క్వాలిటీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇంకా మనం we supposed to provide quality of education to the students, and based on the quality of education, the quality of younger generation will come out to the society. They will do wonders in all over the nations, comparing with the other nations, and they are competing with the global world. అంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఇప్పుడు వాట్ డాటానేమో గట్ల వచ్చింది, మీరు ఇట్లా రాస్తారు ఏం సార్ అంటే, వెన్ వీఆర్ ఇంటర్ప్రిటింగ్ ది డాటా, ద డాటా షుడ్ బి అన్బయాస్డ్. ఏది పడుతుంది కాంప్లెక్స్ గా రాసి మనం కాంప్లెక్స్ కావద్దు. మనం ఏమంటారు, సంబడి నోబడి పాయింట్ అవుట్ దిస్ మ్యాన్ ఈజ్ రిటర్న్ ఈజ్ లైక్ దట్, దిస్ మ్యాన్ ఈజ్ రిటర్న్ ఈజ్ లైక్ దట్, అండ్ యూ షుడ్ నాట్ know present the data like that. You should not now interpret the data like that. The data when we are interpreting, it should be uncomplexable, unbiased, unambiguous. That type of data we supposed to provide, interpret the data for the presentation of the data. When we are interpret the data which is not out of the subject. It is based on our objectives, based on our hypothesis, based on our questionnaire, based on our problem of research, where we are doing, what we are doing. So based on that, we supposed to provide the these data presentations, isn't it? అర్థమైందా అండి మీకేమైనా?
Yes, sir.
ఎవరైనా ఒకటి చెప్పండి, జస్ట్ ఒకటే నిమిషంలో మాట, ఒకటే 2 నిమిషాల్లో చెప్పండి మీకు ఈ రోజు ఏం అర్థమైంది.
What I understood with this class means, sir, the presentation and interpretation of the data will be very easy by using the different kinds of tables, and which can be easily usable by the general people also, understood by the general people.
Okay, good. Then another one.
And we are simplifying. Actually, suppose if we need to explain the anything about any resources, what we are a lot of data will be there, but we are representing in just a form of a graph or pie chart, so that can be easily understood by the others, those who are referring it. Okay, this data is related to that. As you explained us that we are using a pie chart showing in a percentages. So the person who is looking into that, he can easily understand, okay, the 70% is for these book monographs, or 20% is for the journals. He can easily identify and understand it.
Good, very good.
Yes. Thank you. And sir, just now you said us to remind about Swayam portal. Actually, it is a learning app for the learners. So free course it is.
Yeah. Actually, why
And that
I said, compare with the, only distance educations and all those things and regular education. I said regarding
yes.
when I said, PowerPoint presentation, the digital presentations, man-to-man presentations, because it is these all are, earlier blackboard presentation, it is traditional. Now we are doing digital classrooms and virtual classrooms. When come to the virtual classrooms, there are n number of courses are providing by the various universities such as NCTE. And now I'll send one particular portal for you that will help to you. This and another one is known as Swayam. Another one is MOOCs. We are getting in a lot of courses, data, free courses we can join. We will get the certificate simultaneously. We will get the lot of information, lot of data. The data which is prepared, the data which is made by the topmost academicians in their particular field. Because you take example of the Swayam, you take example of the NCRT or whatever it may be, the course which is conducted by the various universities. the Swayam, the data which is prepared, the courses which is prepared by the topmost academicians in that particular field in India. When come to the MOOCs, you take there are a number of courses many universities are offering, including library science also. Swayam also is having library science certificate course and certificate course, and RC also is providing Swayam, and MOOCs also you can. And why I said, MOOCs, the data which is prepared in the form of videos, in the form of PDF of MOOCs, it is prepared by the topmost academicians in the global area. వరల్డ్ వైడ్ లో టాప్ మోస్ట్ అకాడమిషియన్ ప్రిపేర్ చేశారు కాబట్టి మీరు అవి చదువుకుంటే మీరు అవి అందిపించుకుంటే ఏమవుతుందంటే టుమారో యూ విల్ బి కాంపీట్ విత్ ది గ్లోబల్ ఫీల్డ్. సో అందుకనే వి హ్యావ్ టు థింక్ అబౌట్ గ్లోబల్ లెవెల్. ఏం ఇప్పుడు మనం వి స్పోక్ టు జస్ట్ రీసెర్చ్. వాట్ ఆర్ ద మెథడ్ వీఆర్ యూసింగ్ ఇన్ ద సోషల్ సైన్సెస్ regarding the same thing. What type of research they are using in abroad in various disciplines? Research methodology మీరు ఒక సర్టిఫికేట్ కోర్స్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, యు నో వెరీ వెల్ అబౌట్ ది రీసెర్చ్ ఏరియా, వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీసెర్చ్ అండ్ హౌ దే ఆర్ డూయింగ్. సి ఇండియన్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ phenomena, how we Indians are using research. What about the foreigners? What about the Europeans? What about the Australians? What about the nationwide you can check? అందుకని నేను స్వయం గురించి ఎందుకు అడిగినానంటే దిస్ ఇస్ ద రీజన్. సో ఒక్కసారి చెక్ చేసుకోండి, మీరు జాయిన్ కావండి, అంతా ఫ్రీనే, డబ్బులు ఏమి ఉండదు. మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే ఎగ్జామ్ రాయండి, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేకపోయినా కోర్సులో జాయిన్ అయితే కనీసం మెటీరియల్ అన్నా వస్తుంది ఆన్లైన్.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you.
ఓకేనా? షెల్ వి వైండ్?
Okay, sir.
ఓకే, బాయ్ అమ్మా.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
ఓకే.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.